Hello everyone, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Bayonetta on hard mode, and this is the Requiem chapter. It's the final chapter in the guide. And as you start here, you're going to be taking the helm as Jean. So things will switch after this motorcycle scene, which is pretty cool. It's got really awesome music. So we're this character, just for the time being. We're going to rescue our friend, Bayonetta. So the final boss fight is not too bad. The only negative thing I'll say about the fight is that there is a certain move that the final boss does where, well, there's one annoying move. There's one annoying move where he turns you, or she, whatever the hell it is, they turn you into the kid, and then you can't actually do anything to defend yourself for like 4 seconds. But before I get into the horrible move, this is horrible here too, because if you die on the jumping section, you have to start right here. So when I was playing on normal mode, and even today I died like 4 times, it is so goddamn annoying because if you do a normal jump with the bike, it won't work. You have to press the A button when prompted to. And if you're just a little bit late or soon, and you try to jump, it's not going to do the necessary jump that's going to boost you over here. So it's just things like this, especially on the final chapter when, you know, I'm just trying to clear the campaign, just wrap things up, you know, especially for a guide maker. I just want to put this thing to bed, and I have to deal with bullshit, basically. So it's right over here. The first one you're going to do is straight ahead, so I think anytime... Okay, so the second one is over to the right, and how the hell you would know that, I have no idea. But once you get over here, you're safe. That's the good thing. So on those, you have to press the A button when it says A, and I would even press forward, and when you're going over to the right, I would press right on the analog stick just to ensure that you make it over there. But if you die here, there is a checkpoint, thankfully. The move that I don't like on the boss is that she, whatever the hell it is, like I was saying, it does a purple pool of death, because if you're caught in it, it's instant death. And on the final phase of the boss, there is no checkpoint. So if you get sucked in there, boom, you're dead. And it's just like she has 3 or 4 health bars, and if you're on the final health bar, you get sucked in, you're dead. It's things like that that really get under my skin, especially when I'm on a final sequence. But there are 2 main parts of the boss, and don't count on any checkpoints in between those parts, so you're going to have to do 2 fairly long sections without dying. So bring all your supplies here. Make sure you have yellow lollipops, because if you activate those and you get caught in the whirlpool, it won't even count as a death, because it's not, you have iframes, thankfully. So what I do is, I didn't have too many, so the only way you can avoid it actually is to do the witch time, constant evades, and that'll give you the iframes. But there was one point where I had spent like 5 minutes on the last phase, got caught in the whirlpool because it was dragging me, and I couldn't click the right trigger fast enough, and died. So I said, to hell with that. I'm not letting this happen again. So the fight's going to start pretty soon, and it's from a really weird perspective. I don't know if it's this phase, but one of the phases is really bizarre. So here's the first phase right here. You're going to get yourself a nice checkpoint, and here we're fighting some kind of a goddess here. So yes, it is this weird perspective. So it's like you're underneath this whole sphere. It's that kind of perspective, but when the boss is doing actions, it actually adjusts. So at this point, these rocket heads, you can do the punt on them, or you can just focus on actually hitting the boss, which is more important. And everything like this will give you witch time, which is really nice. I wouldn't use any yellow lollipops at any phase until the final phase. You might see me use them, but it was just because I hadn't done the campaign in a while, and I didn't even realize about that instant death. I knew there was something bullshitty, and sure enough there was. But she's got about 10 health bars, so you're going to have to cut through a lot of HP. But fortunately there is a checkpoint. I think it's after the final season changes is where you get the checkpoint. but I think I remember dying on the fall season, and just dying in one of the chasms and getting a checkpoint there, just out of a courtesy from the game. So I think it's the same treatment on this difficulty mode. But we're in the fire pit down here, the pit of hell, and you just need to go around and find the areas of interest so you can interact with the boss and damage him. And I was dropping yellow lollipops over here, and that's all well and good, but I could have done this without resorting to that, and I certainly should have. It would have made the boss a little bit easier, but I still had several for the boss, and it was fine. It's not really hard to find the pieces you need to hit either. Pretty much just go in a linear path and you'll find them. So the next season's going to be winter, and there is no checkpoint. Okay, so we've hit her. And now every time after this, you're going to be instructed to jump towards her. So you just want to go in a straight line right to her, and then hit her in the face as many times as you possibly can. So you got a Wicked Weave attack, and if she's going to fall down, you're going to deal damage to her. If you want to use the red lollipop, that's your prerogative. If you've got like a ton of them, you might want to use them in that location. But now it's going to be winter time, and this phase is kind of annoying. It's the same deal. You're just going to be going on linear paths to hit her arm pieces here. And if you go into the ice area, you'll get frozen, and then it'll be one of those quick time events where you have to press the left analog stick back and forth. So using the bird is really helpful, so I didn't get frozen right there. Anytime you think you're going to get damaged, just do a really quick evade, and that'll probably activate the witch time for you. See, I was kind of confused as to where the next piece was, but if you're ever in doubt, it's really simple. They don't hide the pieces from you or anything like that. Just go along the paths, and there'll always be an arm for you to hit, most likely. Okay, so we jumped our way over here. The boss recoiled, and now we're going to be having this quick time event, button presses again, where you just tap the A button. So you just want to go forward. That's the most direct route to the boss. I took a little side diversion there. Okay, so now we're in this phase here. It's an underhead perspective, and unfortunately we're the girl now, and it's really annoying because she can't defend herself whatsoever. That's the main issue. So when she punches the ground, you're going to probably want to try to evade. I don't think it activates the witch time though. It's not that generous. But there's going to be pieces. Yeah, this right here. What you need to do is, you see, I'm evading that, but I would never push that like towards the end of the fight. I would never risk trying to do the dodges when I had made so much progress. And now we're just, we're hitting everything, hitting the lightning arms here. And you could do the panther punch if you want to. Okay, now those, that is just so annoying. It's so problematic too. So I think what happens is the girl, if you walk too much with her, she gets tired and just falls down. So fortunately, you can most of the time recover. But what I'm focusing on doing here is evading her punches, and then I am just waiting for that purple whirlpool to happen. And I think you see me do it once. I might dodge it again because this is early on into the final checkpoint. This is the final checkpoint, by the way. So the reason I didn't activate the lollipop was because I knew I had like like 2.5 more health bars of hers to get, and I only had 2 lollipops probably, or 3. So I know this probably takes like 5 minutes. That's the thing. So I'm gonna activate that towards the end of the fight. And if anyone knows how to dodge that, you know more than I do about getting into the goddamn girl. But that is not the main issue. The main issue is the instant death from those purple whirlwinds, the whirlpools, excuse me. I just hate anything that's like that in a game. So I knew the whirlpool was coming, so I'm going to activate my lollipop and activate a red lollipop. So as you can see, it's no matter what, even if it drags you into the middle, nothing will ever happen to you with this on. So you know, she's probably got 3 health bars at this checkpoint too. It's just really ridiculous. But I never really had too many. I mean, I did die once here, and I think I died a couple of times on normal, but this is not like a fight that's going to overly cause you distress. Unless I mean, if you're not using the yellow lollipops, you'll probably have a pretty awful time, because she does that attack like 5 times. So unless you're confident that you can dodge that thing 5 times, risking death every single time, instant death. And I think I also had a red hot shot at this point, and I think it doesn't even kick in. So it defeats the whole purpose of even having that item. So if you want to use that earlier in the fight, go for it. I also have a hard time dodging her hands. It's either you dodge or you try to evade and jump, or just try to jump out of the way, but it's so fast and it's so hard to get out of the way. So once we get this green health bar finished, then we'll have her final health bar to deal with. And I've only used 1 lollipop. She's done that attack, the purple whirlpool, 3 times. So I've managed to preserve my yellow, which is pretty much just, a second. It's not even letting the game try to take away anything from you, especially when you've made so much progress, so much hard-earned progress. We've done a whole campaign here, and now we've got this one just dumb attack. So that's annoying. Okay, so I used a couple of reds right there just to deal more damage to this thing. And I just don't care for the perspective here. It's hard to see where, it's hard to judge when that hand is coming down. But overall, it's a pretty impressive boss fight that they've constructed for us. I'm not complaining about it. I am complaining about instant death. That is bullshit. Okay, so what do you know? I'm in the kid again. Gonna fall down because I'm too damn tired. So I didn't get damaged. That's good. I mean, at least you don't get damaged if you're persistent and quickly evade when you get back to the Bayonetta. So I've got the red lollipop activated. Ooh, this was really close, because that whole time, if you rewind that, the whole time I was pressing select, and it just wasn't registering that I was pressing that button until I was right in the middle almost. But as you can see, I'm not getting killed. Nothing's hitting me. It's all fine. We could just nullify that all that bullshit with that purple whirlpool. I think right there I was looking also for if I had any instant death attacks of my own with that shell, even though it probably wouldn't have done anything. And as far as I know, I think you still get damaged with, if you have the yellow lollipop, you'll still turn into the kid, which doesn't make any sense. Okay, so at this point, you can do the climax. and there's going to be one more after this too. So you're going to jump on your own hair, which is really bizarre. So just jump on your own hair, and then you're going to go up, weave your way up here. And I was trying to attack her, but you're supposed to just run over to the right. So don't even bother trying to attack her, because this could possibly time out and you might lose a lot of precious progress. So just run over to this venue, and then you have the opportunity to do the climax again. See, it'll trigger like right about there. And then that will be the main fight will be over with at that point, and then you're just doing a couple other formalities to finally clear the game, none of which are challenging whatsoever. One is rather enjoyable. When you launch her into the sun, it's pretty fun. The way we're directing the bullet into the guy's brain in the last chapter. Okay, so that all that's going to start in a second. We're going to get that upskirt crotch shot thing going for ourselves. And then, well, we just have to watch it play out for the time being. Man, I'm glad this guide's over. It's just, I'm glad this final video's done. It's like 90 degrees in my room. It's just ridiculous. Don't even have a shirt on. It's so fucking hot. But I'm glad to be done with it anyways. It's been a fun project, and I don't regret it, and I'm fine and good, all well and good on the home front. This part though, what you're doing is you're just throwing the boss into the sun. So just direct her to the main objective and just fly around the sun. Fly around the planets. Then after this, there's one more final section where you're destroying her carbonized remains, and then after that you've cleared the game. And I didn't wait for the achievement to pop up, and I imagine there is an achievement for beating it on hard and also for beating it on non-stop infinite climax too. But I don't think I'll be doing that mode. Not since I've already done this game. And I just want to take my 360 and just put it back where it belongs on my shelf, and just get back to the PS3, which is the superior system. So here's the scene. She's burning to a crisp. We got our max bonus right there, and then here you have a minute to smash her remains. So what I would advise, what is actually the best way to do this, is just to hit areas that are glowing. They themselves aren't glowing, the pieces that is, but there is a part that is glowing above the part where you're supposed to smash. So there probably is a time bonus, and I know I didn't get it here because I was pretty much hitting nothing. So just go around, and I didn't know you can move the camera here either, but you can. So just hit the next piece. It's right over there where the light is shining on it. And then I always run out of time because I never know when the end is coming, but the end is nigh, and that will be another guide done. Defeated the game on hard mode, and I'll see you guys in my next project. I'm not really sure what it is, but I know the next game I am going to play is Batman Arkham Origins. So I'll probably do a guide for that game if I like it a lot. Okay, so congratulations, we did it. We were successful, and I want to thank you all for listening to the guide and for watching it, and most importantly, I hope that it helped you out. Thanks.